We are gathering here at a vital educational institution, financial supporter, and employer in Steubenville. Steubenville values and relies on our partnership and coexistence with Franciscan University. I've always been a huge supporter of Franciscan University, its faculty, students, and many of its endeavors. I remember while growing up in Steubenville, Parkview Circle was a constant nuisance and hotbed for criminal activity. I applaud what Franciscan did with that area and, by converting it into dorms. I actually wish they would do more of that with the city. But I actually also want to thank Franciscan for its partnership in regards to Bellevue Park and the student volunteers who help with various activities in the city, including our biannual hilltop cleanups. So you understand my dismay when a specific Franciscan faculty member and a few alumni personally attacked me for my stance on allowing a legal business to operate in the city. I always encourage opinions and debate, but I always keep it professional and never personal. I was told in a letter to the editor in the Herald Star that I was immoral. I also received some nasty anonymous hate mail. I was accused of only supporting medical cannabis because of the money. That is only one of a number of reasons that I support this issue. Another is compassion to the people suffering from the various diseases that medical cannabis helps. Medicines affect people in different ways. Aspirin may affect me different than it affects you. Sorry, the one kicked up a little bit. Who am I to tell a person suffering from a terminal illness that they are not allowed to have something that eases their pain or stimulates their appetite? The morning after the council meeting, in which we decided to not renew the moratorium against medical cannabis, council received an email. It read, "I would like to take the time to thank council for their sound decision tonight by supporting a possible legal cannabis dispensary in our city. Supporting House Bill 523 and its legality means a lot to the patients of our area, and they will not be hindered by location to receive access to this medicine. As much as fears were brought up and discussed, compassion by every council member was shown. So for that, I express my gratitude." That letter right there made me know I made the right decision. In the past, my stance wasn't always of support on this issue, but I did my research. I read countless stories of how this medicine helped dying individuals cope with their pain. Wasting syndrome is a result of several diseases where individuals progressing to death lose at least 10% of their body weight, including muscle mass. Medical cannabis has been shown to increase the appetite of sufferers of wasting syndrome, and participants in studies were shown to gain weight. It puzzled me that people who claimed to be Christian stood against showing compassion. I was relieved when Mr. Venditti reached out to me and said people from the Franciscan community supported my stance. I didn't feel there were any supporters the way the opponents made it seem. It felt like a collective effort to stop this legal industry. I stress legal. Steubenville needs jobs, and who are we to tell a legal business they can't operate here and that we don't want them? I'd also rather people be prescribed less addictive drugs like medical cannabis rather than opioids. We have all witnessed how the current opioid epidemic has ravaged our communities. If opponents want to wage war against illegal medicine, I urge them to devote their time and efforts into holding medical doctors accountable for carelessly and overly prescribing opioids to Americans. I just want to say I'm thankful and I truly appreciate your support. It gets lonely out there sometimes when you make a decision that may be unpopular with some, but you know in your heart it's the right thing to do. You have to forget what people expect you to do because you're of a certain political party, or how associates or donors might try to sway you. You have to do what's best for your citizens, the citizens you represent, and that's what I feel I did, and that is what I'll continue to do. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Councilman. Our next speaker is Dr. Frank Novasack Jr. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who is here to share his views on medical cannabis. Thank you, Dr. Frank.
Thank you, Tom. Can you hear me? My name is Dr. Frank Novasack Jr., and I've been a practicing doctor in Pittsburgh for nearly 40 years. And when I was confronted with this issue of medical cannabis, I was concerned that why would anybody object to a necessary medical treatment? Because in fact, I truly believe that it's really not a Catholic issue, and it's really not a legal issue, and it's really not even a moral issue. It's really a medical issue involving an advanced medical treatment that has been shown and proven by the research, by the results, by a lot of work and effort from research over a long period of time that in fact has been endorsed by many different sources as being a valid medical treatment. So I'm here to say today that I endorse a supervised medical cannabis treatment, and that we certainly do need this for the ability to treat a huge variety of conditions that have been proven successfully treatable by medical cannabis. Everything from seizures in children to Alzheimer's in the elderly, and a huge number of diseases that have responded favorably to medical cannabis. So I say that we support any necessary legislation and that we move forward and recognize that this is a medical issue that needs our attention, and that we stand firm and ready to support that which helps people to cope, to heal, and to recover from various forms of disease. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Frank. Appreciate it very much. And I'd like to close the press conference with a few thoughts of my own. I'm a graduate of Franciscan University of Steubenville. I had a wonderful experience while here as a student. I ended up bringing my whole family back to Steubenville about 8 years ago, and have had 3 of my own children attend this university. The students here are wonderful, wonderful people, absolutely fantastic. When I became aware that Dr. Samut and Kimberly Hahn publicly opposed medical cannabis on moral grounds, Catholic grounds, as a Catholic theologian myself, I became a little bit concerned. And I did some research, and very clearly, Cardinal Rivera of Mexico City, who is the Archbishop, has come out in support of medical cannabis. And in fact, he has said that the Catholic Church has always supported that which comes from the earth, provided by God to heal his children, which includes medical cannabis. So, Kimberly Hahn, as much as I respect her as a fellow Catholic, does not outrank Cardinal Rivera or Archbishop Rivera, Cardinal and Archbishop. Okay, everyone that I've talked to, there's a gentleman who graduated last year. He sent me a message about this press conference. PJ Bro, who is in California right now with other graduates of Franciscan, trying to operate a farm to produce medical cannabis. Okay, and this is we need our young people to know that it is a good field to get into. When you are helping people, it's going to bring jobs, and we need our young people, especially those who have convictions of faith, to feel free and to get into this. It's a brand new, exploding situation here in Ohio and across the country, and we need good, moral, ethical people who are going to be involved in spreading compassion in medicine. And I did call the bishop here, Bishop Monforton, and I will say this publicly, that the Catholic bishop of the diocese, when and if, God willing, they open up a dispensary here, should bless that facility and should bless all the medicine that is distributed from that facility. That is the proper role of the bishop. Anything that is going to be about healing people, the Catholic Church, of course, supports it 100,000%. Okay, so finally, I'd like to say this. I know personally victims of clergy sexual abuse. One gentleman in particular who, right over the Pennsylvania border, who says if it was not for medicinal cannabis, he would be dead. We know of many abuse victims who have committed suicide and have overdosed on heroin. This is a problem. I'm going to challenge Kimberly Hahn and Dr. Samut to address the pedophilia cover-up on the campus here. Okay, and this is not just gossip, this is truth. Through this campus, the city of Steubenville was the home to Joel Wright. Joel Wright is one of the sickest individuals probably to ever walk in this city. Joel Wright is in federal prison right now for life, okay? Franciscan brought him here after he was rejected by 25 seminaries. There's no excuse for that. Also, Jason Rivers. It was through Kimberly Hahn that my kids got exposed to Jason Rivers. And Jason Rivers is in prison the rest of his life, who came to this city through the university. Okay, but has anyone ever addressed this? Has anyone ever acknowledged this from the university? No. Kimberly, you will do a much better job to protect the children of Steubenville from pedophiles, okay, than to come out against medical cannabis, which is healing people and helping people. So I strongly encourage those at the university who are opposing this to really research what the church actually teaches and not to promote something that has been, it's old news, it's fake news, really, honestly. So anyway, we stand today with our President Donald Trump, who is supportive of medical cannabis, and we stand with our Cardinal Rivera. We stand with Dr. Frank and the medical profession, who has embraced medical cannabis as a compassionate medicine. So thank you, Councilman Timmons. We appreciate everything you're doing, and let's keep the momentum going. God bless. Thank you for coming. Bye.